Good day, everybody. My name is Rafi Gutierrez, and I am a proud alumnus of the UP College of Mass Communication, major in Communication Research, batch 1994. Before I begin my talk this morning, I want to thank, on behalf of Divorce Pilipinas Coalition, the UP College of Law, and the UP Department of Gender Law and Policies program for giving us a platform to be heard and for us to be able to articulate our position on divorce and why it has to be passed in the Philippines at the soonest possible time. So without further ado, let me give a little bit of background of myself. I was married in the Philippines back in 1998, and my ex-wife and I moved to the US shortly after, around year 2000. And I lived and worked in the US for 10 years, and in the course of my journey there, my life in the United States, my wife then divorced, separated, and we ended up getting a divorce sometime around 2009. So our divorce was on the basis of irreconcilable differences. So it was not like there were really the usual reasons why people divorce. Ours was really just we just realized we wanted different things in life a little bit too late in the game. So we got our divorce decree around 2010, and that was when I came back to the Philippines. So my ex-wife is already happily remarried, and I'm happy for her that she's happy to American guy. So next year will almost be 15 years divorced. So it took a while before I was able to finally make this video this morning, because every time I am asked to talk about my position and why I am pro-divorce, it's because I have to dig back and open memories. I wish I can just keep in the back of my in the back of my mind. Unfortunately, it's necessary to do so, because it gives context to why I am a stakeholder of divorce, and why I'm a very, very strong active participant in the Divorce Pilipinas Coalition, and of course why I am part of this group that is really clamoring to have divorce pushed in the Philippines. Uh, it doesn't guys, it doesn't make sense. Yeah. My wife, my ex-wife, is already has already started, has remarried and started a family with another man, um, in America, and she has a child with him. Okay, so what I find most ironic or almost unacceptable, right, is the Philippines and of course the Vatican, the only two places in the world that cannot get married. In the grand scheme of things, just that alone is really very questionable. Why is our country trying so hard to be different? And in some of the most serious discussions and dialogues I've had with the anti-divorce group, especially those who are from the very traditional Catholic background, say that actually makes a claim that the Philippines is the last bastion of marital sanctity on earth. So I want everybody listening right now, part of this symposium, to really think about that. That's the claim of the other side, that passing divorce, according to these very, very staunch, traditional-minded individuals, will apparently ruin the sanctity of marriage, will destroy marriages. And it's hard not to get triggered, not to get emotional, when you encounter people who insist that their life their perspective, their religion, their beliefs about their religion should be everybody else's. That you cannot question the faith and the traditions that they uphold and they believe in. And to be honest, my dear friends, that does not make sense at all. Because all of us have different experiences in life. All of us have traversed different lives, and to insist that all marriages are the same, all marriages will eventually work out, is just, for the lack of better way to say it, it's just really stupid. So it is very, very disappointing, very, very frustrating that my country, this country, is the only place on earth I cannot get married again without going through the most difficult process, like getting annulled, right? Because I was married, my ex-wife and I were married in the Catholic Church. It doesn't make sense. Why? Even from that context, that the Philippines is the only country, and Vatican, who does not have divorce, is really mind-boggling. Okay? Because if divorce was really a problem, right, that all other countries in the world have divorce, then if we follow the logic of the extreme traditionalists, then no marriage would have lasted. Then there is no single married couple on earth right now. Everybody would have filed for divorce. Because that is what the anti-divorce are saying. That once divorce is passed in the Philippines, every married couple, even those who are happy, will apparently file for divorce. Now, I apologize if I have taken this a little bit out of context, right? But this is the general message implied by the anti-divorce. That divorce, passing the divorce bill, will ruin marriages. That it will make couples feel that if once they go into problems, they will just file for divorce. I think that idea stems from the failure of understanding first what the divorce bill entails. I think there is a lack of education, a lack of clarity in terms of what will actually be entailed by a couple going through difficult times, what will happen for them if they file for divorce. That when they file for divorce, this is not like the same as the US, where they can get a divorce decree almost the day after. So my other contention is that a lot of the anti-divorce people have not even bothered to read what's on the absolute divorce bill, which really bothers me, because how can you argue against something when you have no idea what it's actually talking about? So whatever I'm saying now, I hope makes sense for those who are anti-divorce to at least read what's on the divorce bill. Going back to my plight, and a lot of us who were married in the Philippines or married outside the Philippines and already divorced from our ex-spouses in another country, it doesn't make sense why we cannot just get not be able to marry again here in the Philippines without going through all the trouble of getting a judicial recognition for the divorce decree. As if the Philippines, sorry talaga. This is, where this comes from? That proclivity of Filipinos to feel that we are special, we are above everyone else. And what are we, right? That is special Pinoy pride that has not really helped in any little way to make our country to the slightest degree better than any of our Asian neighbors. Because this is so upsetting. There is absolutely no logic why those who are like for myself, for example, who have already long moved on from an ex-marriage, still have to go through so much trouble just to marry again here in my country. You know, right now, there's a billion other things I want to articulate that is operating on the same parallel lines of my frustration and my anger. But those who have the least bit of common sense, to at least pass that divorce law, for people who really badly need it. And you know, my case is not even the worst of the lot. You know, like, what about those who have been in marriages where there was physical abuse, there was really tremendous suffering? And do not give me that you can file for criminal you can file a criminal case against your partner. This is not about this is the problem with the anti-divorce. They're nitpicking issues to justify their position of being an anti-divorce. When the truth is, why they're being anti is because most 99.99% of the anti are deeply, in the Philippine words, saradong Katoliko, who do not want to question the church. And I'm sorry, if I am an ex-Catholic, I am an ex-Christian, I am an atheist Zen Buddhist now. I have deep respect for the teachings of Christianity that teach compassion and love. But the teachings of certain groups that try to impose traditions that do not make sense for the modern times, we should take a step back. Those who are deeply rooted in these traditions, where you just because you are afraid to question your belief, so everybody else who do not even share your belief have to suffer. Is there any logic to that? Is there any reason? So I apologize for being very upset about why there is no divorce in the Philippines. Because first, there's absolutely no logic for us not to have divorce. If the deeply rooted reason is because of our Catholic roots, it is just sad that, and people will argue that there is separation of church and state. So where's the separation here? If our leaders who are Catholic will pretend that there is separation of church and state, but at the end of the day, they will say that, that this is what the church says and this is what my belief says. Where's the separation there? And those who will argue to that point that the Constitution is supposedly protect the sanctity of marriage. Yes, but what if the marriage has already fallen apart? And what if there's nothing else going for the couple? So wala na. Suck it up until you die, basically. Diba? C'est la vie. Diba? Live and let live. So look what 500 years of Roman Catholicism has done to this country. I'm sorry, right? But this is my position. And as a stakeholder of divorce, I beseech and I beg anybody who has the least bit of common sense to understand this very simple premise. Those, like me, who have already long moved on from a partner who's already happily married with someone else, who have in another country already officially divorced, should not have a very difficult time getting married again in my own country. Should be as simple as filing a divorce in another country. Because my ex is already married to another person. And she has a family there. And I'm stuck here, still married. In the eyes of the church, oh my God, and eyes of... Please, let's move on from these very unhelpful traditions. Because if you look around, if you open your... Those who are anti-divorce, open your eyes a little bit. Question your faith a little bit. And let it sink that not everybody's marriage is like yours or your parents. Like my parents are happily married for more than 50 years. I'm happy for them. But my parents, they're both pro-divorce. You know what my dad told me and my mom told me? They said, not everybody is lucky to have marriage like ours. So, pag hindi, if you end up in a marriage that just unfortunately fell apart, what, magtitiyaga ka na lang? Or what if you wanted it to work but your partner just moved on? And what, you're gonna force your partner? You're gonna drag them? You're gonna put them in a cadena? Doesn't make sense, guys. Come on. It's time for this country to wake up. Or what? We're gonna be bound by the shackles of a useless tradition for another 500 years? Is that what we want? Anyway, thank you for listening. I hope you like the next speech I made. This is Rafi Gutierrez. And I hope that those who have listened this far, and wala naman kayong choice, right, will have finally some kind of awakening to realize that let's move on from this stupidity, this absurdity of our country trying to be different. If we really wanted the Philippines to be the last bastion of marital sanctity, then make getting married in the Catholic Church a million times more difficult. Let's see what happens. Make sure everybody who really wants to get married knows what it takes to crucify themselves every day and survive that crucifixion. Thank you very much.